Alright, cold start video. It's not very cold outside, but this will give you a general idea. Say 50 degrees outside. It's fuel injection. It starts pretty good. Alright, so I decided I'm going to do a full walk around of the car, showing in detail every flaw that I know of with the car, and I'll talk about the other issues that it might have. The car is my daily driver. I drive it about 70 miles a day. It suits my purposes really good. I just have too many cars and need to get rid of some. This is a project car that you can drive as you're fixing it. It is not a show car. There's things wrong with it. If you have no mechanical abilities, probably not the car for you. So let's get started. Front bumper. I don't see any major cracks. Really any cracks. Has a little scuff down there, but it don't look like it's cracked. Oh, right there. There's a little crack. A little scuff mark right there. Turn signal lens is broke. Around the headlights. There's some pitting. Wouldn't be hard to fix. Better than most. Alright. Hood. Has a dent. Right there. Paint's flaking off of it. There's probably a little dings that the camera's not picking up, but for the most part, it's pretty okay. Oh, look at there. Driver's side high beam headlight got broke out during the hailstorm. I already pointed out the side marker lens is broke. This fender is pretty decent. No big dents or anything. Cowl panel, good and straight. Door. Not so good. Has a rust hole here and here and there. I got a replacement door that is in pretty good condition and it's not all rusty. Rust by the roof and T-tops, there is none. Up here, there is none, but I don't know if you can see or not, there's some hell dings. Rocker panel looks solid, but the fender well here, tire, we got some surface rust. I knocked it down with a wire wheel one day and just hit it with some Rust-Oleum just to kind of slow it down, but it needs to be fixed. There's some cracking in the paint over the quarter panel. I'm not sure why. Back piece, it's kind of muddy back there, but it does have some surface rust. Nothing through, but it's pretty scaly, so you're going to want to fix it soon. Hatch has some pretty good surface rust going on. You're going to want to fix that soon. It has a dent right here. Oh, look at there. It has some little bit of damage there. I think that's all easily fixed. No real rust on the hatch. A little bit of surface rust right there. I don't have the key, so this happens. So the hatch is rust free. You know, other than some surface rust, it's in really good shape. It needs new shocks. tail lights. Has a crack here. Pretty typical condition on these. They could be cleaned up good, you know, for a driver. Also, the hatch has some surface rust up on here. Rear bumper. Looks pretty good. A little bit of damage right in here, but should be an easy fix there. This quarter panel right here, there was some pretty scaly surface rust here. I just hit it with a wire wheel very quickly and put some Rust-Oleum paint over it. I think that's not going to be too big of an issue if you get on it quick. These cars like to do their little cracking crap up here, so it does have that too. Over the fender well is pretty good on this side. Quarter panels, you know, pretty good on this side. Of course, like I said, it does have some Hell-dings. T-tops do leak both sides a little bit. Not as bad as some of them I've seen, worse than others I've seen. This door has surface rust. I think this door could be saved if a person wanted to. This fender, pretty good shape. This fender extension, bad. I got another one though. It's in good shape. So, what does this car need on the outside? Well, I pretty much got everything other than, you know, time to do the body work and get it painted. It's not the worst car I've ever seen. It's not the best car I've ever seen. If you're a nitpicky person, probably not the car for you. It's a cheap car. It runs, drives, and isn't completely trashed. But it's not completely nice either. Phone's going off. Tires. They're probably about 10,000 miles in. I'm getting a vibration from this side at around 70 miles an hour. When I had these tires put on, they were supposed to, you know, mount and bounce them and everything, and I just don't think they bounced them. And my cousin had tires put on from the same shop, and his tires did the same thing. So it might be a balance issue, it might be a tire issue. I'm not really sure. But let's see. The tires are dirty, so it's probably not gonna help you hear any. But here's a good amount of thread left on them. You know, they're good for, they're probably 75-80%. Let's go with the inside of the car. Door panels, the material itself is pretty good, but they're wavy. So a person will definitely probably want to get that new backer board. I do got the armrest piece, and I think most of the little trim pieces. But the door panels would look nice with those like $40 boards to make them straight again. Carpet is dirty now because I drive the car every day, and I'm not particularly anal about it. But it's only about a year old, so it will clean up good. It's not totally trashed or anything, but it is dirty. I'm not going to clean it. The thing about these cars is you can spend tons of time cleaning them up and everything, and it's not going to help the value any, so I'm not going to waste my time. Let's see, the rocker panels, all that stuff's good. The dash has a pad on it, so I'm assuming underneath of it's cracked, but the pad looks pretty good. I wouldn't touch it. This door panel is wavy, and then this stuff around here is cracking on it. You can get the carpet pieces too from like LMR, so if you want to fix the door panels, order the carpet, and the backer boards would probably be your best bet. 5-lug swap, and yeah, the emergency brake is not hooked up. This piece ain't bolted down either. has SN90 or New Edge V6 seats in it. I was gonna go through, re-dye all the interior pieces, fix the door panels, put new carpet in, put new headliner in, and do a rear seat delete and find some really nice looking seats. But I got in kind of a hurry, so I just grabbed these from the junkyard so I could drive the car. So I would still probably do that, get some better seats. Also, I was like, yeah, I'll just use the seatbelt that come with the seats. But yeah, they're different styles, so it does have two different kinds of seat belts, so just make sure you use the right one. Back. So when I got this car, I wanted to see how bad the floor pans were, and you can get a good idea from the underneath, but from the top, you know, you kind of get a better idea, I think so anyways. So I stripped all the interior out, all the sound deadening, and I fixed one spot, which I'll show you from underneath gas pedal, one underneath the brake pedal, and then one right in this area. I'm not a good welder, as you can see from my welds right there, so they don't look pretty, but you know, it's going to keep it from rusting out hopefully. So there were small spots about this big, which you'll see here in a few minutes. After I got all the sound deadening out, fixed those spots, I put a coat of Rust-Oleum black paint over the whole floor pan to kind of help save it from any kind of future thing. And what I wanted to do is try to help as much as possible to keep that floor pan. Oh look, there's your seat. I'll just throw that there. So I covered the whole entire floor pan in pill and sill, so it's like overlapped all the seams, so water shouldn't be able to protrude down to the floor pan. It has upper and lower torque box reinforcements. Let's see if I can't show you the floor pan. Alright, right there. It probably needs to be undercoated under here. And then this one, yeah, I did a pretty bad job on that, but you can fix it if you want to. It has a Mac Pro chamber on it with some Flowmasters, 2.5 inch. So under here, there's a few things that need to be corrected. I did put a aluminum 3-core SV radiator in it, and I put a Volvo electric fan in it. I like it because it's pretty thin. Here's the little control box. I had that zip tied, but apparently zip tie broke, but that could probably use some fixing. Has a 3G alternator on it. Battery tie down's not there. Battery's too big anyways. New ends that I put on the side of the road because one of them broke, and as you can see, I kind of cobbled it together just to get me off the road, and I haven't fixed it yet. So circuit breaker for the electric fan. Spend the day, clean up some wiring. See, it has Ford Shorty racing headers on it. Ford Racing Shorty headers on it. Has a Mac Pro chamber, and it has a Flowmaster cat bag. Does have an exhaust leak where the header meets the H pipe. So this side of the strut tower is about as perfect as you're gonna get. Strut tower all good. It does have SVE Casper camber plates. Fresh alignment. Let's see. This side. As you can see, or maybe not, I don't know. You know what? It has maybe a little worse than surface rust. It's not really through, but like this very top layer is pretty crusty, and it's worse than it was. So I don't think there's anything through, but it's a little crustier than I thought. I think you could just fix that though. So you can see like the top layer of material. See if I can make a hole. Okay, so I can't really make a hole, but you can tell it's kind of... Oh, is that a hole? It looks like that's where one of these little holes were at, and it's starting to kind of go around that. So, you guys probably got a better view than I do at this point. So it might be a hole. So you probably want to get to this sooner than later. I don't think it's going to be that bad though. Strut towers, all good. It did have working AC up until about 2 months ago, and it blew the line right there, as you can see. Right there, see? Yep. So let's start it up and let you hear the exhaust leak. Our steering pump makes a little bit of noise. Definitely better than most Fords. The smoke pump stuff's been deleted and it needs to be deleted better. I was in a real big hurry when I did it, and I couldn't find the cap for that, so I just shoved a spark plug in there and called it good. But it needs this exhaust leak fixed, and I think the car will sound pretty good then. They could probably use plugs and wires. Now let's try it. When I was down there messing with the strut tower, I knocked the spark plug wire loose. It does need, I would invest in some plugs and wires. There's no misfires or anything, but they're getting pretty worn out and they like to slide off the plug. Or you could just clamp down the little ring thing in there and it'd probably be okay. Does leak a little bit of coolant from the thermostat housing. I fill that about, I don't know, once a month. I usually add about a quart of oil about once a month. Let's go for a little ride. Speedometer does not work. It's broke. That little, I don't know, I guess cruise control thing where it goes into the transmission is broke. My uncle, I had him put the H pipe on, and of course there's exhaust leaks now, and he broke that during the process. So I guess that is what it is. Gas gauge does work, but it reads a little low. Like when you fill it up, it'll only read like a little over 3/4. So it's off that way a little bit. heater core is bypassed. I put that on the ad just so everyone knows the heater core is bypassed. It started leaking. It wasn't really leaking, but it's fogging up the windows pretty good. So I just went ahead and bypassed it so I could see the drive. But this winter, you're gonna need that. Back hatch needs adjusted a little bit better, so it'll latch, and it also needs that cylinder lock thing. And I'll cut down the squeaking and stuff from the back. It's just one of those things I haven't got around to yet. Car though runs and drives better than you'd expect by looking at it. It's actually a pretty solid car, and my feelings are not going to be hurt if I don't sell it. So I'm not going to take like $1,200 for it or anything crazy. I'm pretty firm at the 2,000, but I might take partial trades on parts or something. But if the car's not worth that, it's not worth nothing to me, you know. So yeah. The car runs and drives, like I said, I drive it 70 miles a day or so, back and forth up to Washington from Sullivan. So a little bit of highway, some sitting in traffic on 47. If you guys know where that's at, you know that at about 4 or 5 o'clock that road sucks. So the car doesn't overheat. In the middle of summertime, when it was 100 degrees outside, I can run the AC and it'd stay nice and cool. So you don't have to worry about it overheating. It's just really good. The guy I bought it from said that it had a shift kit in it, and it shifts firm. It doesn't like slam or anything, but shifts nice and firm. Like, it's not sloppy. It's when I got the AOD car, I thought I'd hate it, and I don't hate it as bad as I thought I would. Let's just put it that way. If I keep the car, I'm still going to convert it to T5 though. At about 70 miles an hour, it has a vibration. It feels like it's coming from this front driver's side tire. It could be either wheel or it could be the tire. I'm not really sure, but I put probably 8,000 miles on it, and it hasn't given me any issues. But it's something that I've been meaning to fix. I'm pretty sure it's just the tire shop that put the tires on didn't balance them, or didn't balance them correctly. And sometimes their work's kind of questionable. Windshield wipers work. They did stop working about a month ago, and it was the ignition switch causing all kinds of weird issues, blinkers and stuff. But I put a new ignition switch in it, so it does have a new ignition switch in it. The box, not the tumbler. But I tried to fix the stuff that goes wrong with it, but there are some things that I've skipped. They're in, like I put in the ad, it clunks, and I'll see if I can get it to do it. Okay, so it doesn't do it all the time. It does it probably 50% of the time, but sometimes it'll clunk when it shifts. So it's probably something in the gears or something. I don't really know, but that's probably something that needs to be fixed sooner than later. The heater core needs to be fixed sooner or later, and I would start on the rest issues sooner than later. But that's pretty much everything I know about the car. If any of those problems scare you, I would probably just not get it, because if you have to pay somebody to fix the car, it's not worth it. You know, a project car, anytime you have a shop start working on stuff, it adds up fast. So if you're not comfortable doing the work yourself, this ain't really the car for you. If you want a car to learn how to start fixing things, this is the car for you. It's nothing on this car is really hard to fix, and you know, worst case scenario, you screw it all up, it's a $2,000 car, you're fine. You know, it's not slow. It ran a 9.4 1/4. I mean the 8th rather, sorry. It's not super slow. It ran a 9.4 and the 8th, but it's not super fast either, obviously. I think that translates to a high 14-second pass. So it's kind of torquey with the gears in it, so it goes a little bit faster than it is, but it's not powerful enough to where it's tearing itself up all the time. It's a good driver. That's all I can say about it. So drive it while you fix it, or don't buy it.